Oh, meeting is being live streamed. Here. Bienvenidos. Welcome back, mi gente. Welcome back, Organic Fanatics. We appreciate y'all joining. We had a little bit hiccup with our intro, but we here. We here for y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's 2023 free agency. The New York Knicks. What is about to happen? And I am blessed to be here with my family here. I got my primo, Machete. Talk to him, Machete.
Bienvenido. God bless. Welcome. Let's talk some Knicks. What's going on, Alex? What's going on, Dwight? What's going on, Knicks Nation? Let's chop it up.
We are live. We are live to my right side. I'll get actually on the left on y'all, what y'all seeing. But my brother Alex, appreciate you for joining. Talk to him, Alex.
What's up, family? Appreciate you for having me again. It's always fun coming here and chopping it up with you guys, so I'm excited to get in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's today is the day. Today is the day. It's officially here. We waited
Yep.
many months past the draft. The draft went by, and now it's free agency time. I think it starts at 6, right? So in an hour. We're here. We're early. We're a little early, but early is on time, and on time is late. But let's get into it. So we have it. All right, so the first domino to drop first was Derrick Rose. They just basically got rid of his money. What do you guys think about Derrick Rose? Do you think that we could have? Do you think that they looked at the landscape and they couldn't find a trade for him, or do you think that they did? They were trying to do right by Derrick Rose and just say, "We'll just get rid of your money and you can be a free agent and go where you want to go." Tell me what you guys think about that first move with Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I think they just gave him his money and give him the option to do what he wanted to do. They were going to utilize him. I feel that they could have utilized him. We could have used a veteran. He was our veteran. At least when we went in the start of last season, that's what we thought he was going to be our leader. With the press conference and all that, and calling Randall out and all that at the beginning of last year and shit. But we never actually utilized them, which is a shame. You know how I feel. They should have utilized our vets. We should have used Fournier and you should have used Rose. But it is what it is. And they're just giving him, like you said, the option to do what he wants and give him his money and see you later. Let's move on. Move on.
What do you think about it, Alex? What do you think about the move with Derrick Rose? You think it was a missed opportunity for a trade, or you think we were just doing right by the player? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it could be a little bit of both. I mean, I think truthfully they wanted to do right by him and not send him somewhere where he's not contending for a title, especially since he had already said that he was going to retire. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think he was. I think because I think his relationship with Tibbs and the front office was like very good. Like there's really no ego when it comes to Rose. Like he was like a very even keel kind of guy. You know what I mean? So I feel like he had an honest conversation with them, and then this is just how it played out. I mean, I would have liked personally to have sent him back to Chicago so that he could have a farewell tour and send him on his way in a proper way, he was one of the greats. You know what I mean? He's MVP. What can you say? So, but it is what it is. Life happens.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And you forgive us. It was a last minute thing that we had to just do it through a different form that we normally do. We don't have the live at which we can communicate with you guys and go back and forth, but we definitely appreciate you guys for watching. We'll be a little bit better prepared next time, but appreciate you guys for watching either way. Um, Derrick Rose, I thought that was interesting what they did. I thought the fact that they didn't trade him, because I mean that money definitely would have worked for us trading him and Evan. I think that would have been a big option for us. Basically, another 15, $60 million. That's him and Fournier. That's about $35 million. That would have given us a lot of flexibility to get some another talent or something like that. I think the fact that they they declined his option so he could be a free agent speaks volumes in a sense that again, it shows people who want to come here that we're going to do right by the player. You know, that we're going to try to do the best interest for the player. And, you know, we care for our team, we care for our players. That even though it could have been beneficial to the team, you know, trading them or getting them somewhere else, because we got love for our players, that we gave them the option. Because that's $15 million we could have used to get another great talent. But the fact that we waived him, or not waived him, but basically declined his option so he could be a free agent, looks out for the players. So instead of trading him to Cleveland or somewhere he doesn't want to be for that last year, shots fired. Nobody wants to be at Cleveland. That's why Donovan's trying to get out. But we'll talk.
Shout out to Joking Noah.
Hey, for real. But that, I think that speaks volume. Which, I mean, as you saying, Alex, that could be a farewell tour if he wants to go there. Chicago definitely needs a guard because Lonzo Ball, you know, and we struck out with that because we want Lonzo, right?
That's a tragic story.
You know, we were gonna give him 90 million, or he was up there, and give all this bread, and we wish him a speedy recovery. We never want anything negative for anybody, so we got love for all the NBA players. But the fact that he's gonna miss another year, hopefully he can return to the NBA. So I don't know what the Bulls are thinking about there. So that's why I guess there was a lot of talks with Levine, as we were talking about. You know, can we try to get Levine? But the Bulls look like they're trying to run it back with no point guard. I don't understand that. What do you guys think about Bulls? They re-signed Vujicic, 3 years, $60 million. Why? I don't know. You keep DeRozan for the final year. That makes no sense. I think what DeRozan got, I think one more year, 30 plus million, 32, and then you still got Levine. So I don't know. Maybe they think they can get a point guard. That's interesting, right? What do you guys think about the Levine? You think there's still a shot in the air that we can get Levine?
So, go ahead, Alex.
I was gonna say I think we have a long shot, basically in the trade deadline possibly. I think they're gonna get backlash, you know, not really doing anything to improve, and then come trade deadline they're gonna be sellers and just gonna sell everything.
Okay. What do you think, Machete?
I don't know, man. Unless we do some kind of sign and trade, I don't see us getting Levine. If we were gonna pull the trigger, we would have by now. It doesn't look like anything's gonna happen. We're just trying to make that connection because he's an all-star out there. That's one of the options out there. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I could be wrong. There are other things we could, you know, but we'll talk about Dante later on. But I think he may be an option. But a package with, you know, Rose and Fournier, you know, going somewhere in Chicago. I said that earlier, you know, for Levine, but now it doesn't look like anything's gonna happen. So I don't know what we're gonna do with Fournier and as far as Rose is concerned. You know, Chicago, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. Chicago, they looks like they're gonna try to go ahead with it again, and maybe get a point guard in there. I don't know who they're gonna get, but we'll see.
That makes sense out there. I mean, even with the big names that we all were looking for, you know, options and opportunities. I think they kind of gauge it, which, I mean, I don't know. We're going to see. Today's obviously.
If they kept their center, I don't see them blowing it up and like keeping your center, but you get rid of Levine. Where are you going to go with that? Now you're out. Are you out a point guard and you're out a guard? You know, so I don't see them letting him go if they're going to keep Vucic because they're still pretty competitive. All they need is a point guard, right?
Yep.
So why blow it up? I mean, other than that, I mean, they weren't that much competitive, but they weren't. Yeah, they were the bottom of the battle last year.
Their salary is crazy.
It's still, I mean, it's just a setback that Ball got hurt. Who expected that? Because last year, you talking about Ball, Levine, and that they were dangerous. I remember when they were coming out, I was like, yo, they're pretty tight. That was going to be a tight squad, but then he got hurt, which was very unfortunate. It was over.
Which is crazy. I mean, if they were even thinking about running it back, I don't even know why they weren't trying to make a move for Chris Paul with Washington when Washington's trying to get rid of him. I mean, that right there would have helped him, which is stupid by them. I mean,
Chris Paul was not going to leave California, bro.
Well, I mean, that was after he
wasn't going. He wasn't coming to New York. He ain't going to Chicago. He's staying his ass. Look, they said they sent his ass to where? Fucking Brooklyn. Where was
No,
it?
you talking about Chris Paul?
Yeah, when he got
I think
traded.
he got traded to Washington, and
Yeah,
then
to Washington,
he definitely didn't want to go to Washington.
and back to the West Coast.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying Chicago could, if they knew they were gonna keep Levine, they could have get
The
something.
Midwest, but it's the Midwest, but still ain't it still ain't the West Coast. I don't
You know,
think he
they
was anywhere anyways.
get both of those teams.
He ain't gonna be fucking travel with some team far away from his house and get risk. Nah, this is his last year, and he's gonna retire out there in the West Coast, and we'll see what happens with him out there in Phoenix. You know, because that healthy, that would be a crazy ass good squad, but they have no depth.
I mean, they really don't need it. They got the talent to do it, but whatever with Golden State, whatever with Chris Paul, I just thought it was an opportunity for Chicago to do something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Nonetheless, I think the price was too high for Levine. I think they were asking probably for a lot. Knicks,
Yeah.
reached out to see what they were going to do, and then which you got your agent. Was it what's his the agent of Zach Levine? Paul.
Rich Paul,
What is it?
Clutch Sports, Rich
Yeah,
Paul, isn't it?
yeah, and then so they got beef. And this, you talking to your old boss. Your old boss trained you, schooled you in the ways, and now you're trying to boss up on your boss. I don't know that don't make no sense. You got to do right by the player. I think they were asking too much. Said he didn't want to go there, so we're like, all right, run that back then. Run that back for that play-in position. Pay all that money. Which,
Yeah, Chicago, the Bulls aren't looking to do the Knicks a favor, man.
hey, it's all good. Eventually, it's only going to hurt them because I agree with Alex. I think they're going to try to make that run yet again. I
Yeah.
think they're going to stink it up. And then they're gonna be like, "Damn, we're in 10th again. We're over the cap, paying all this money." Now at that point, they lost their leverage. People try to acquire them now. Now it's like, oh, now you got to get rid of them. You're gonna blow up your team, or hopefully hold on to it till Lonzo Ball comes maybe the year after. I don't know. That's
Nah, I think that's just a wasted year, another wasted year. And then you're gonna. So I mean, if that's the case, then what you just said, DeRozan is gonna be a free agent after this year, right? So you're gonna have to re up with him, and he's gonna want more money. So I don't think. I mean, the way I see it playing out is probably Vooch is gonna be the only one left there because they're gonna need something to try to bring someone else in, and then they're gonna send Levine and DeRozan out because those are the two pieces that could bring back the most. So,
Yeah.
for example, like if you're going to rebuild, keep Booch and then get a ton of picks with DeRozan because he's expiring. So everybody's going to want that contract. And then you got an all-star in Levine. So again, that should bring back a lot of draft capital. So that's what I think is going to happen. Somebody that's going to try to make a playoff push, like they're like a fringe, like 7, 8 seed, and they want that surefire all star that's gonna bump them up to make the playoffs. Then that team is gonna, you know, go all in on Levine. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then for that, we should do that. If you're talking about just giving them draft picks,
We
I will give
should.
them draft picks for Levine. Hell
We
yeah.
should. Absolutely, I agree. I
Honor
mean,
some draft picks for that cat. Bring him over.
you
You
guys,
know.
you guys actually talked me into it because I was all in on Beal because of the way that his contract was structured that we didn't have to give up much. But you guys talked me into Levine because of the fit and this other stuff. So I'm all in with you. I agree.
Yeah, he's still good, and I mean, all they're doing is another favor that we don't got to pay that extra year. So he's going to be another year, and there.
Exactly.
And I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think it's going to be somewhere towards trade deadline where it's going to be like, yeah, this ain't working. Let's see what we can get for him because they still got to fill seats. But none
Absolutely.
with that, so we'll come back to Levine. He's out. I don't think Zion is a realistic option anymore. So I don't think that's done. Kristaps
Nope.
now. We talked about Kristaps. Jeremy Grant's probably like the last one that we've been talking about overall. That could that be someone that we go for? We'll see. So it starts tonight, so we'll see if we can get him. But let's see. Let's talk about. We got Rose out the way after that first domino. The next domino was Josh Hart, which is pretty important. So the fact that you got Josh Hart to opt into 12 million
Phew.
of a last year when he knows he could have gotten 16 to 18 mil per year, longer contract. That's only a Leon move. For you to have to be like, yo, you're gonna get your money. We're gonna give you your money. There's got to be a handshake type of deal. We need you to opt in here. I mean, to me, that only means that it's almost guaranteed that DiVincenzo is gonna be. They're like, yo, we need you to do that. If you do that, and this is a money move because by him doing that, that makes it where they can offer the mid-level exception to DiVincenzo, and they stay
Yeah.
under the cap, which was very important. So by them
Mhm.
staying under the cap, then they can go after whoever they're going to go after, where it's not going to be be over the luxury tax. So to me, that sounds like we're possibly running it back. For sure, getting DiVincenzo. What are you guys' thoughts on DiVincenzo? Tell me your thoughts on what you guys think about
I mean, anything is possible. Anything's possible. I don't know for sure or
it.
anything like that. But I just learned that Francesco is actually from Delaware, so he's from the East Coast. You know, he'd be coming back over here to this side of town where he's from, and he's a good player. He's about what Grimes is. He has sorry about that. He has a little bit more playoff experience. I think doesn't he have a championship?
With Minnesota.
Right. And wasn't he with the Bucks or something?
With Minnesota, that's where he won the
Good.
championship.
Yeah, so he's got experience, and then he went over, got coached by Steve Kerr. There a few years. He's got about 5 years. He's a vet. He's a Villanova. He's from what I understand, was Brunson's roommate.
They played
So they're
together.
kind of like best friends or whatnot. But other than that, he's still a good guy who has playoff and championship experience. And he would be a good pickup. He would be a good pickup. I mean, the only thing is the height issue, because you would have a bunch of guys who are under 6'5", but you would still get a guy who has playoff experience. He's still a young vet because he's been around champions. He's been with Minnesota, and he's been. You said he was with Minnesota and won a championship?
Yeah,
No,
to be honest.
No, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah,
Threw me
yeah.
off with that one. Wow, so he was with the Bucks, and then we're getting him from Golden State. So he's been around a bunch of champions for the last couple of years, and he's a Villanova Wildcat. So those are two good pluses in my book. Other the con would be maybe his height would be an issue, but these are guys who are go getters, and teaming them up would be nice. I don't know what's going on with the whole Villanova. Everybody trying to get Villanova together at the Knicks, but it seems to be working because it took us this far in the playoffs, and that would be hype. That would be hype.
What do you think, Alex? What do you think about the DiVincenzo acquisition? If it even happens, do you think it's likely? Do you think that Josh Hart opting in had anything to do with that? What are your thoughts?
I think I think there's where there's some smoke, there's always fire. So I believe I believe there is some truth to it, but I'm kind of trying to figure out like where he would fit, like whose minutes is he gonna take. Um, I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if it's a good fit. I don't know. Uh, and like you said, it's gonna be a bunch of small guards. Like, and Tibbs is not known to run like a high octane offense like Golden State. Where you could go small and maybe have like a Randall at the five and go like that. You know what I mean? So Tibbs is not known for that.
31 minutes
So
in, we had our first tip shot.
I'm about to go off. You feel me? But nah, I mean it is what it is. Like I don't see a good fit with him in the Knicks. Like um yeah, I just don't see it happening. I don't know.
I mean, for me, I think the fact that Josh Hart took the $12 million instead of getting more money, I think that was a huge red flag. And like you said, where there's smoke, Leon's pouring gasoline, and that's it. He's pouring gas somewhere because that's like bing bing. That's That's letting you know something happened. First was the you freed up $15 million from Rose. Hey, we could have got something with something's up with that. And you
Yeah.
get Josh Hart to opt in a 12 mil instead of getting 18 mil. Well, that's some negotiating skills for real. Like for the fact that you could do that, and I'm pretty sure that's Brock Allard, who's the Mr. Money Man. That boy knows how to manage a bank account.
Yep.
That boy can manage. He move over here to the savings, got to put over here, move it over to the retirement, slide over here, put $5 here, drop it over there. The dude is nasty with the money. So the fact that they did that huge, and I think they did that for the Homie Network, Villanova, the Wildcats. You're always talking about Machete, cohesiveness, chemistry. I think that plays a huge part in not only team building, championships. So you got dudes that already play together. He's obviously not going to start. Him and Josh Hart are both going to be coming off the bench. But just like again, as we're looking at our team, what we need, how we ended up last year, we didn't have effective scoring, consistent scoring, playmaking, and people who can shoot and stretch the floor that they can plug in and help out. It's still learning with our youth, so they're not consistent with it. So you get someone at a lower amount of money, not low, but medium level exception, the MLE, and you got someone who's a champion, who's played with championship teams, knows systems, comes off the bench. He's effective off the bench, a great catch and shoot player, great scorer. He's been clutch. He's hit some game winners with Stephen Curry. He's hit some last minute shots. So he's someone who can give you those points. He's a good slasher. I mean, he can still dunk. He's small. He's a crafty defender. He knows how to play the lanes. So tips type player. I think he'll be effective if we get him. Which I'm not saying if, it has to be. I think it's almost a no brainer. DiVincenzo comes. I think he's gonna be almost a plug and play like how Josh Hart did that extra battery. Josh Hart was that one double A. Now you got DiVincenzo. You got two double A batteries. So I think that's going to give us an instant lift. And if someone's struggling, you can plug him in. If Randall's getting double teamed, you can throw him in there, and he's going to hit that 3-point shot that people were looking at Josh Hart like, no, it went in. He's more someone that you can rely. He's close to 40% from three. I think that's going to be good. How it plays out, I don't know, but he's definitely going to be somewhere in the rotation. And I think it's going to be up to Deuce to fight out. He's going to have to fight for minutes this year. But again, we're more than likely losing Obi. Let's get right into that Obi combo. I mean, we're talking about Obi. Do you guys think Obadiah Toppin gets moved? Why do you think he gets moved if he does? Or do we get to keep him? Let me know what you guys thought. I'll start with you, Alex, and then we'll come to you, Machete.
Man, that hurts me, man. That hurts me. I can't say enough about Obi, man. I'm a huge Obi fan. I think he's gonna be great, wherever he goes. I do believe we're gonna unfortunately trade him. There's just like you said, where there's too much smoke. You got your boy pouring gasoline over there. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I hope he's once a Knick, always a Knick. I hope the best for him. I hope he thrives. If he does leave, I would like another power forward back, or picks. I'll settle for picks. We could use a couple first rounders if possible. But I don't want it to happen. I'm still team trade Randall. I will be team trade Randall until that man leaves this team. I'm sorry, I just don't. For all the numbers and all the accolades he has, I just don't want him in the squad anymore. Like ever since the thumbs down and then the whole debacle, like ever since then, it's like you proved yourself that you're not worthy or you're not capable of dealing with the fan base. Like after you did that, it was like all over for me. I was straight Obi hard the whole time. So hopefully, he stays and Randall goes. But I think I'm pretty sure Obi's gonna get traded, unfortunately.
36 minutes in, we had a tip shot, a Randall shot. My boy, he's not holding, boy. He's reloaded. He's reloading on that. Okay, so you're in for the Obi to stay, Randall to go. Okay,
Absolutely.
Machete, tell me your thoughts. What do you think about Obi? Even Randall, maybe if you got some
Shout,
time.
shout out to Obi Top and Treetop. Shouts out to our native New Yorker who loved to play who got his chance to play at MSG. I'm so happy for him. That he got at least his chance to play as a Knick. A lifelong dream accomplished. You know, but he's not getting his minutes. He's not getting his minutes, and he's not. It's been frustrating for him. It's been probably pent up the last 3 years, and maybe the first year as a rookie, yeah, you got to eat it because Thibs don't play rookie, and then towards the end, he saw Thibs realize that he should have played him. So then the next year they played him a little bit more, but not really a whole lot because he barely got any kind of minutes. And then third year the same thing, and it's kind of like very frustrating for him. And a good place for him to be. Where Indiana, right? Didn't he play college out there? Dayton? Is that in Indiana?
It's in Ohio.
Cleveland. Ohio. Sorry, Ohio State.
Ohio. Close enough, but who knows where? Maybe go play for Cleveland.
They had farms. Yeah.
If it's not New York, it don't matter.
Hold on to him one more year.
Shots fired.
Maybe we hold on to him one more year when Donovan Mitchell, when we're ready to get D Mitchell, Spider next year, and we throw him in a trade, right? Hopefully we can hang on to him for one more year. But maybe we don't, we don't see that happening. But we don't know what the Knicks could do. I would still want to keep him as a backup if Randall gets hurt. Then we use him. If Randall's hurt, then we could use him. It's not like he's invincible. Randall, he got hurt towards the end. I like Randall for his durability, his numbers. He was an all-star because he got finally a good point guard. I would like to see now that we have one more year under the belt with Randall and Brunson and the crew, the way we are right now. What another year of that will look like. This first year that we went through with this point guard, and then getting Hart. Now that we secured Hart, we need to see what we do with the other Hart. With Hart and Shine. And with Obi, that would be a big blow if we got rid of both of them. I think. I don't know who we could replace those guys with, but if we gotta get rid of Obi because he's unhappy, but it's kind of weird that we picked his brother up. I mean, I don't know. It's just very strange, How are you gonna pick his brother up and then get rid of him? Weird.
But you know what?
Maybe we do end up getting rid of Randall.
But you know what? It's funny you mentioned that because his brother is actually more of a Tibbs player than Obi is because his brother got better defense.
Yeah, he's more of a defensive player, I heard. But he's playing for a Kentucky team that wasn't the old Kentucky team that we known him to be. They were really bad last year, that Kentucky team. So, I don't know.
Yeah. It still says a lot,
I don't know how good the player his brother is. We'll see. At least we'll have a guy play for Summer League, right? Because I didn't see who we were going to have to play in our Summer League, but we'll see now in Summer League what he does. We'll see.
What were you saying, Alex?
About what?
Okay, I thought you were jumping in what he was saying about Obi. So, you saying that?
Yeah, no, I just said that. I don't know if y'all heard me, but his brother's a better defensive player, and it means something when you go to Kentucky instead of Dayton because the competition is just way better. To be real, like it's like D1, and I mean I think they're both D1s, but the competition in Kentucky is way higher than Dayton or wherever. But it is what it is. Like
about that.
Say again?
The competition in Kentucky would probably is much higher than the Dayton.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel.
Didn't do too good this year, last year.
But it is what it is. Like I said, I wish the kid nothing but the best. I will always root for him. Like I said, once a Knick, always a Knick. So shout out to Obi.
Obi's gonna come. He's gonna go out there. They're gonna put him on another team. He's gonna dunk it on it all over us.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think with him it's like it's not that we don't want him to succeed. It just doesn't fit right now. You know what I mean? We drafted him
We
thinking
want
that.
to see him succeed. We want to see him go out there, get those minutes, and make those highlights and make his money.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what Knicks Nation really wants. If we have to let him go or he has to go, I mean, yo, we want him to get his bread. He's 25. This is probably going to be one of the only times that he can make a real big contract to make money. He's got kids. Yo, get your paper, my man. We love you. We'd love to have you here. We support. We love Obi Toppin. You know, and he was a late bloomer. He started late. He couldn't get into another school. That's why he got into Dayton, where he could play. He wanted to go to a school where he would get minutes and be the man, which he was. He opened the door essentially for his brother. People saw who he was. They're like, yo, maybe his brother might be like him. So he got to a bigger college. So he basically kicked in the door for the family. You know what I mean? He was going to set it off. We drafted him high. He's making his money as far as the 12th, eighth pick. We had him as the eighth pick. I think it's just inevitable. It's the best thing for him. People making a big deal about the tape. I mean, that's anybody. Anybody who wants to play. Anybody who wants to get burned. You know, he's eager to help out the team. He wants to showcase what he can do. He felt he could help the team, so I don't really care about the tape. I think that's something anybody with who ain't a robot would have felt that way too if they were in that same position. I think it's the best for him. Now, we don't have to trade him right now. He's still in contract. Him or IQ, which we'll talk about IQ in a second. However, we don't have to move him at all. Yes, he may want to move, but we're going to look what the best opportunity is for him and maybe build up the value. Keep him technically to the end of next year or right till the trade deadline, you know, and try to get rid of him as you were talking about before, Alex, in the trade deadline, see what we can get for him. Indiana has been wanting him. There's been rumors for him wanting him. Um, so I think it's inevitable that it may go, but we're not just going to get rid of him just to get rid of him. I think we're going to try to get the most assets that we can and hold on to him. I don't think he's going to be gone by free agency, in my opinion. I think he's going to actually be around maybe for to like December-ish time frame, and we're going to see a deal that works out the best for us. It's possible. This is I'm just thinking, and the only reason I think that is because Randall was still in a walking boot until recently. He's not in game shape. He hasn't completely healed where he's doing full 5-on-5 contact and that, you know, where he's getting back. Because, I mean, he trains all summer to get in that summer shape to come into camp ready. You know what I mean? So he still needs to get into that type of shape. So I think he's going to need time to get himself together. And I think that's a benefit that works out for Obi because Obi's going to get to more than likely start and have heavy minutes for the first beginning of the season, first couple of months, till Randall gets ready. That gets to showcase his skill set. That gets to showcase what he can really do with starter minutes, and that's going to only increase his value. Whereas, like, all right, now you see he can score 30 a night. You can see he gets you 7 rebounds. You see he gave you three pointers in the game. We're going to be like, damn, we should keep Obi, but it's only going to be to trade him.
we already had that sample size when
Yeah, at the end of the season.
yeah, when he played like 7 or 8 games or whatever, and he went off for like 20 something points. I
Well,
mean,
I think it's going to be longer though because I don't think Randall's going to be ready for the first month. So you're talking about at least a month's worth of game. Where last year and the other season before that was what 7, maybe 10 games. That's like a week and a half worth of games. Where he's going
yeah,
to
but he
month.
still showed out. He still showed out. He showed
Oh,
what
yeah.
he's capable of. And
This
like, if what you say happen is gonna happen, and you know Randall's gonna be out for the first month of the season, it's just gonna hurt us even more to watch him go. Because then we're gonna be like, dang, well maybe we should have hit the reset when we drafted him and went full blown rebuild instead of putting our eggs on Randall and now seeing what that turns out to be. You know what I mean? So I
it's
mean, this is gonna hurt even more.
it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. That injury, I don't think is that severe, where we won't see him for the first month of the season. I don't know. I mean, he had surgery. He should recover. It shouldn't take him a fucking what 2 3 months. We won't see him maybe till October, right? The end of October.
Normally he'd be in the gym right now 2 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still early. It's still soon, dude. We're just
He
gonna
just
begin.
he was just on that was it
We're still
podcast.
in the beginning of July. We're just still in the beginning of July, dude. He's still
Shout
healing.
out
He's gotta go through the summer.
Shout out to Keith real quick. My bad. I apologize for interrupting. He asked, "What's the rehab time for Julius?"
Well, I can't even see the chat, so if you can see it, good for you, because I can't see it. So if you can
I'm
see the
saying
chat,
the rehab shouldn't be that long. It isn't. He got injured. What? It's been about 2 months.
if you can see the chat, Alex, you can read them out, because I can't see
He
them.
had surgery maybe a month ago. He's still in the boot.
He just had
So,
yeah, so he's still in the boot. You're talking about an ankle that has surgery. He's not going to be able to play like he's going to go running back and forth. He's not playing 5-on-5. That's going to take time not only to heal to get in shape. He's going to have to strengthen his ankle again. So he has to condition it first. And he's going to have to strength train to make sure he can do it. Then he's going to do individual workouts to make sure he can put weight on it. Then after he does his individual workouts, then he's going to do 3-on-3s and then 5-on-5. Bro, that's before. And then after that, once
Entire summer, bro.
yeah, but that's being
Fine.
able. That's to see if you can play on it and that you can play 100%. Then he's gonna get into the shape to working out.
If it's that severe, then we're not getting rid of Obi.
That's the whole point of what I'm telling you. That's the whole point. It's not that we don't we can keep Obi. We don't have to get rid of him. That's the whole point of what I'm saying because we don't have to get rid of him. Him and IQ, we can keep him for the rest of the year because we don't have to, or just before the trade deadline, we can keep him.
Speculation. We don't know yet. We don't know anything because you remember that IQ was hurt too. He was on he was hurt pretty bad at the end. He didn't need
Yeah.
surgery, but he was really on. He got
what
shut
was it?
down.
Well, he had a shoulder problem. What was it?
It was his ankle.
Yeah,
He
so
got rolled on. He got rolled on his leg. But you know what?
That's right. That's right.
But I've been looking at IQ on Instagram. He's chilling in Paris. He was just in Greece. Yeah, and he's out there doing his thing. He's walking on his leg. He's walking. He's dancing. He's at the club. Hey, he's doing his thing. He's ready. They showed video. He showed little pictures of him in train. He's ready. He ain't have surgery. He wasn't in the
It was
walk
all
a
flat.
week ago like Randall. But Randall just got the boot removed. He looked like he had elephantitis. At
I feel I feel all of us are coming back healthy. Just the same
You think
crew.
Randall's gonna be ready for
Stronger, more pissed off that we lost against Miami, and paid secure. We secured Deuce, feeling a little bit more secured.
Wait, what?
Feeling a little bit more secure. Deuce got the bag. I got a little bit of the
Who's got a
bag.
bag?
Well, they kept it. They had a $1.8 million. I think 1.8. I know one something. Option.
Oh,
So he basically had a $1 million option that they picked up. So they
okay,
picked up
okay.
a $1 million option so they can keep him for one more year.
Gotcha. All right.
We'll get back to dudes. I'm talking about Obi though. The reason I'm mentioning that is because I don't think Randall's going to be in time, and even if he is, you still got to build the value up for Obi. I don't know if we get rid of him. If they are, there's some teams that are been talking about him, wanting him. Indiana's one of the teams that they've been mentioned wants a lot. Been wanting him a lot. So I don't know what we get for that. There's another team.
I don't want no salary. I don't want to match nothing. Just give me picks. Just give me picks. He was the 8th pick. He has potential. Give me picks. I want a high first round pick, 15 or below.
We could hope for it. I don't know if they're going to give us a first. It should. At least
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
it should. There's another team that's been asking for him, that wanting him, which makes a little more sense because he won't be anywhere in the East Coast. Is the Sacramento Kings, and I think the Sacramento Kings have been wanting him. They just signed Matt Barnes, so we don't get Matt Barnes, but we could get a pick, and we could get Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles is someone that's a restricted. I think he's an unrestricted free agent. He's a power forward. He shoots close to 38% from the three. He's someone that doesn't need heavy minutes, who's a good bench piece. This is just me thinking out the box if it was a Sacramento King. But you get someone who could back Randall, who's not going to cry about minutes or where you have to worry about if you got to give him a lot of minutes. And when he does play, he can give you threes, defense, he can stretch, he can help out that way. And he's basically an expiring contract. You don't have to worry about extending Obi. They can worry about that. And we could either keep Trey Lyles at the end of the year, if he works out, or you can free that money up, and that frees up space. So I think the Kings is a team to watch out for with Obi, and maybe they give us a pick or a couple of second rounders with that. Because also Indiana is trading his best friend or his buddy, not his best friend because IQ's his best friend, but he's good friends with Duarte, Shout out Dominican. So
Dominicano. Pew, 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 pew.
Indiana got rid of Duarte to the Kings for a couple of second round picks. So if they get him and Obi over there, that looks pretty interesting in the West Coast out there. They get rid of Trey Lyles to free up some money because they're going to need to free up some money. They're going to have Obi on roster space. And then maybe they give us picks and Trey Lyles. I think that's something to look out for Obi if we get rid of him early. If you're saying, which is possible, I don't know. The Knicks know if Randall's ready, if he'll be ready to go by October, like you're saying, Machete. If that's possible, maybe we see him leave sooner, like tonight in the free agency. Something to look out. There's a couple of teams, but I think realistically, Indiana wants him, but I don't see where we'd give him Indiana, make Indiana better. Indiana really wouldn't give us much. So you can look that up, Miguel. What are they saying in the chat? What was the question on there that Keith said? Alex.
So I wasn't looking at the chat. I was actually looking at the. No, I wasn't looking at the chat. I was looking at the 24 mock draft, and they got the Pacers going 18. So if that's the case, then we could package Obi for that 18th pick and something else because we have like the 20-something pick. So we could do those two and jump up in the draft if we want. Or we could do like what Rose has been doing and just take those two picks and just hop out the draft completely and get more. I'm just spitballing here. I'm thinking out loud basically to see what are the best things that we can do for Obi because like the first 10 picks are like Spurs, Pistons, Hornets, Bulls, Jazz, Rockets. Oh, I'm lying. The Pacers got the 8th pick. So we could probably do something with that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're going to be in a rush to get rid of them unless they give us an offer we can't refuse. Because I think they think because Obi may want to go or that's what's going out there that we're going to try to get rid of him cheap. Leon is not going to take a L. So again, the reason I brought all that up is that we don't have to move him till trade deadline.
Yeah, I know. I was just spitballing, thinking out loud. Like I said, if we are going to ship them out, what I do want back is picks. So, I mean, you mentioned the Pacers. Like I said, I saw the 8th and the 18th pick. So I'm eyeballing those 2 picks. If they want Obi, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That could be something. Let's say
that the Pacers have emerged as a leading trade suitor for the New York Obi Toppin. I would send him to Indiana for Buddy Hield.
I don't want nobody. I don't want
another guard. Yeah, the Buddy Hield. That's what basically DiVincenzo gonna do. What Buddy Hield would be doing. Buddy Hield wants to start.
I don't know about DiVincenzo, but I know that Buddy Hield is one of the best 3-point shooters out there. The only person who's a better 3-point shooter than him in the league consistently is Klay Thompson.
Stephen Curry. He was second to Stephen Curry.
Who's he gonna take over for? Who's he gonna replace in the lineup?
That stat you were talking about is catch and shoot.
Nice. He burns us when we play against the Pacers. I mean, I would send Obi Toppin out there for him.
Okay, but who you gonna put? Who you gonna switch out in the lineup for him?
In the lineup?
Where does he play? Where does he play if you get Buddy Hield?
Buddy could play the 3.
Starting 3?
So that's RJ. You taking out RJ?
Where do you put RJ?
He could play a starting 3, but he's a much better shooter than RJ. Most definitely a better 3-point shooter than RJ.
So what you doing? Then are you sliding RJ at the 2, or are you taking RJ out completely?
I would slide RJ at the 2.
So you taking Grimes out?
I would slide RJ and put him in the second unit and Buddy Hield with the first unit.
You got a $120 million player coming off the bench, and you got a $12 million player.
Even if you would still have one of the premier, even if you started RJ, you still have a premier 3-point shooter, and coming off our bench. That would be pretty tough.
Talking about Buddy Hield. I mean, that's if you get him, where are you gonna put him? Because that means you got Buddy Hield, Jalen Brunson, IQ. More than likely, DiVincenzo, Deuce. You got 5 out of the 15 players are guards.
Yeah, I don't know about that fit. I don't know.
You got to see what you're gonna do. We're already gonna be loaded with DiVincenzo. That's JB, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo,
I
Deuce, and
say,
Nike. That's
like
five now.
I said before, we hold on to Obi for next year and send his ass to Ohio and for Spider.
I don't see us getting rid of Obi.
I don't want to trade for Spider because if the rumors are true that he wants to come here, then let him come to free agency. If he's really beasting to come here, then don't make another Melo situation. Let him just walk on in. You know what I mean? Why we have to give up anything if he wants to be here?
Because that'll be in 2027.
Okay.
We,
Eh?
we will have some experience in the playoffs or deeper runs in the playoffs, and then we add him to put the icing on the cake.
Basically, I mean,
Hey, can
I
you?
don't see, I don't see, I don't see why we would like. There's no reason. There's what's the rush to get Mitch or Spider here if in 2 years we could get him outright for nothing, but without giving up anything.
So I'm saying we hold on to Obi for this year, and then next year, when he's available, we could send him out there.
Isn't he available in 27 though? That's the thing.
If we hold on to him, there's two options we could do. We can keep him till either the trade deadline or we give him his qualified offer, and then that makes him a restricted free agent, and then see what the market gives. What someone offers for him, and then you can match it. Which why would we do that if he wants to be out of here? They're not going to do that if we're trying to do our best for the player. So I think it'll be just to build his value up and get rid of him before the trade deadline. If we need a power forward, again, unless Sacramento Kings give us an offer, here's Trey Lyles, a dying contract, who's a power forward who you could play, and then he could play backup for Randall, and then they give us a pick. So that's something interesting to see there. I do like Obi's brother, though. So besides Obi, Obi, salute, my guy. We love you here. We want nothing but the best for you. We've seen your videos working. That's showing the other teams that you out there working, trying to grind. We want nothing but the best for you. It's probably not going to be here. You're not happy here. We want you to be happy. Once a Nick, always a Nick, like Alex said. So salute to you, my brother. We want nothing but the best for you in the best situation. So hopefully we get Obi in the best situation altogether. Randall staying. He's not going anywhere. We deal with him. But I think when you give Randall the right tools to get the double teams off of him, I think we're going to see another Randall. My opinion. I think
So,
I say Rafters Randall. I think he's going to be here till he's in the rafters. My opinion.
oh golly, bro.
I mean, stat wise, what he's doing, and if he can show up for the playoffs when he has other tools around him. I mean, his stats. People say his stats is not. There's only Embiid, Jokic. There was very few people that were given what he could do, bro. That's
I would put Melo in the Raptors way before Brandon.
Now you got to win something though. That's why I said I think he would eventually get there because we're putting a better team around Randall and Brunson, which that's hopefully what's going to be happening now, and at 6 p.m., which should be happening now. So nonetheless,
Respectfully, I'll pass on
I
you.
like his brother. I like Obi's brother. I think Obi's brother. I've seen the videos and highlights, and obviously it's a highlight reel. I think he's got game. I seen his floater. He got a little floater game. I don't think Obi has that soft touch for the floater game. He's a good help defender when it comes to the blocks. So he's doing real good on that. So I don't know. I'm liking that.
Shout out to the chat again. Keith saying that Hield is the best shooter outside of the Splash Bros. And what he said that he'd do is he will reverse it and put IQ and Hield off the bench.
Telling you.
If you get healed, who do you send out? Because there's no way we got guards. Who would you send out, Keith? Because you're talking about 6 or 7 guards out of the 15 players that we have on there. And read out the chat, Alex. Says for some reason I can't see it. I'm having issues here. So if you see any other
Yeah,
comments that you could throw out there,
that was the last one that was put. He said that he did the reverse, deadly shooting with IQ and Hield off the bench. That was the last thing he said.
yep. So nonetheless, the drafts that we had, we spoke about it before. I think they'll be good up and coming prospects. I think the other kid that we got, the Jalen McDaniels. Jalen, I'm having a hard time, but he's good. He's 6'6", good guard. I like that. All right, let's skip out of that. IQ. Now let's go to IQ. IQ's talking about you want nine figures. That's that 100 M's. Again, with IQ, we don't have to get rid of them. We can keep them for the whole year and not worry about that. So we can keep IQ all year. He can contribute and be a big time player for us. What are you guys' thoughts on IQ? Do you see us moving him? Do you see us giving him 100 mil? Do you see us trading him? What are your thoughts on that? Alex, go ahead. I think Miguel's looking up stuff.
Me, I would pay the man. I mean, I think he's worth it. Uh, well, I would love to see. I would love to compare the salaries between Manu Ginobili and what was the other six man from the Clippers? He was in the Clippers, like Lou Williams. I would love to compare both of their salaries to see what they got, and based off of that is what I would pay IQ, because I believe Manu was paid for a little while.
Yeah, but
And that's
Manu was a legit starter that chose to go off the bench. I know. Oh,
exactly. IQ is a legit starter that will be coming off the bench.
I mean, I think 80 mil is about right. 100 mil is probably not going to be that much next year, but to pay someone the same thing that you're paying RJ, the same thing that you're paying Randall, the same thing that you're paying Jalen Brunson to come off your bench, I think it's too much.
No, I don't think so. Because you're severely underpaying Brunson. I mean, Randall, like I said, Randall could good riddance. I don't care about him. But you're severely underpaying
really
Brunson. Huh?
Tell me how you really feel about Randall.
I got a few loaded, bro. I got a few loaded. I'm telling you.
You bring a full.
But yeah, like I don't. Brunson's gonna get paid. Brunson's gonna get paid. So, he's gonna be 40 mil range easy when he re-ups. So that's gonna make IQ in the 20-25 mil range. He's gonna fall in line eventually. I believe that we should just pay him. Like either we pay him now or pay him later. Either way, we gotta pay him because he's instrumental to our he's instrumental in the starting unit with being the sixth man, and he's instrumental coming off the bench with the bench unit. Like that's the spark plug. Like we need him. The way I envision him is a second Manu Ginobili, a second Lou Williams, a microwave shooter that can get hot real quick, and then he can also play in the first unit, and he has defense. You know what I'm saying? He did much better in defense. So pay the man. I'm no question about it. Pay the man.
Wait, I mean, you say pay the man. I can agree with giving him bread. Are you saying 100 M's?
I could easily give him 100. Easily. Now I don't know about much more than that. Like I would probably cap it at like 105, 110. You know, that kind of deal. But pay the man, like he's worth it. Give it to him. All right, you talking about having a culture change and taking care of your players and doing what's best for them. This is what's best for him. I mean, he's a stand-up professional player. You don't ever hear any scandals about him. No baby mama drama, no porn stars, no none of this. So I'm saying, give the man his respect, pay him his money, and let him ball out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I hear that. Machete, are you in the $100 million club?
$100 million, man. What is he bugging? I mean, the guy can dream. You know what I'm saying? He can say that. He can say whatever he wants. He can make $100 billion.
I want $100 billion.
Quick is nice. Quick is nice. When he's on, he's on, dude. He had a 40-point game. You know, Quick is nasty, man. When he wants to be, dude. You know, it's unfortunate he got injured in the playoffs, but you know, we could have used him. But it is what it is, you know. But $100 million, yeah, we'll give that guy a fucking $1 billion. You know, pay that man his money. You know, he's good. He plays defense. When he's not scoring, he plays defense. He's smart. He reads the court. He reads the court really well. He's very smart. You know, he's a high IQ guy out there. You know, he gives his all for the coach. As long as we have the coach and IQ, you know, he's one of those few guys that there's trust out there. You know, I say we want to keep him because if Brunson goes down, who we got? Who we got if Brunson goes down? God forbid. You know,
Got Deuce with it.
Deuce, but who would you rather have, Deuce or IQ?
No, yeah, no, I agree with you, brother. Pay the man, like I said, give him
Pay
what he
his
wants.
money, he earned it. You know, shit, man. Keep him and Obi and pay him that fucking money and let's go.
Yeah, that's it. Just, all it is just money, just money. Look, Obi ain't money. If you gave Obi $100 million, he ain't gonna still. He's still gonna want more than 17 million.
Give the man his $100 million, man.
Okay, yeah, y'all good with that? I am not on the $100 million train. Listen, and not saying he doesn't deserve a big payday. I think he's well, but you know what? I ain't gonna pay him. I ain't gonna pay him. I'm not paying him. And guess
Bro,
what? You know what?
$100 million.
Then,
He's
then this is the same Knicks fan that's gonna be like, yo, I'm not gonna pay him, blah blah blah. He's gonna walk out that door. He's gonna get his bread, and when he comes back to the Garden, and then he shits on everybody, and then they win, then he's gonna be like, damn, we should have paid him, bro. Damn, we had him, blah blah blah. Now we gotta go trade for him, blah blah blah. That's the same Knicks fan that I'm seeing in the future, bro. Watch.
I'll tell you. You want to know why I say don't pay him?
Why?
Because I ain't got to pay him. I don't gotta pay him. I don't gotta pay him nothing. My guy has another year on his contract. And look, and I'm Kulik, if you're watching, I love you. We got love. IQ, I love the name. Emmanuel quickly. All right, Emmanuel, we know who Emmanuel really is, the real one. All right, but Emmanuel quickly, I'm with you. But in the name of business, that's what it is right now. You don't have to pay him. He still has another year on his contract, just like Obi. You can ride him for whatever $1 million you got him. If it's $1 million, you ride him out for this. You see how he does this year. When we get to the playoffs, because we can get to the playoffs. When we get there, does he perform? Does he do better than he did last year? Now, IQ has improved each year. He's gotten better. Doesn't mean he's not. Let's see what he can do this year. Can he be more consistent than he was last year? Can he show up more? Because he did phenomenal when Jalen Brunson was there. In the almost 20 games he played as a starter, he averaged nearly 20 points per game as a starter. So he definitely showed out. He definitely did his thing. Can he improve? What's the next level that he can take that we can give him that bread? You can see it for the whole year. You can see how he does in the playoffs. And guess what? You know what you do at the end of the year? You give him his qualified offer. The qualifying offer, you give it to him. He doesn't have a choice. That's a team option. Then guess what? That makes him a restricted free agent. And when he's a restricted free agent, you can say, let's see what the market is going to give you and see if the market gives him $100 million. And if they do, you can match it or you can let it walk. But by that time, before you get to that, I think you already know his value, and you can.
Good way.
Go ahead.
You know a good way you build your market is highlights. And IQ's got a lot of fucking highlights this year, and he's gonna get more highlights. He's got one more year he's got to give us, and he's just gonna continue building his highlights. He's gonna get some. He's gonna have some 40-point games. He's gonna have some good defensive games, and we're gonna see. He's gonna make his $100 million at the end. At the end, he's gonna make his money. Not 100, maybe.
I don't doubt.
The guy can dream. Let him exaggerate all he wants.
If he does, and we as Nick Nations, I think we all believe IQ's going to go off. I think he's going to get to that status. I think he's going to do more. But guess what that does for us? If we don't feel like paying him $100 million, because that's a lot of bread to have a bench warmer at $100 million, I think we do like with Obi. He wants to leave. He's got to get his paper. We love you. We'd love to give you $100 million, but we can't pay $100 million for a bench player. But you did so well this year. We're going to trade you and get back 2 first rounders for you. and or whatever we're gonna get for him, and he's gonna go to his team. We're gonna do good by him, like
That's
we did.
that's, that's him showing a lot of confidence, and that's started money, man. 100 million started money.
And a team who's gonna want to start him is gonna say, "Yo, you know what? We need IQ." What team that might be? It might even be Chicago. Listen, Lonzo Ball ain't coming. We'll give you Levine and 2 first rounders. Now the price for Levine might drop for Chicago. Maybe they blow it up and they say, you know what? We need this IQ quickly character, and we're gonna blow up and start with him. Like, yeah, you know what? We want Levine for him. You asked for Levine and 2 first rounders. Nah, we just want Levine straight up, or whatever the money is. We'll make the money match, and that's gonna come to our advantage, and that's what's gonna happen real quick. Because he wants the money. Could he get it? Absolutely. But we ain't gonna pay him $100 million for a bench player. That is not the Leon way. That is not the Knicks way. And we love him. I think 80 mil is a fair deal for him to keep him.
If you think about it, 100 mil would be what? Look, what 50 mil a year, right? How
About
much was?
25 a year. 25, depending on how many years we give him.
Well, let's say 4 years. Just say 4 years.
25 mil a year.
Okay, with the new ABA and everything, that's not really a whole
20% increase. It's not that. It's like, to me, and I'm saying that's like 70 mil.
lot.
That's like 70 mil next year when the cap goes up. But that's still a lot of money for a bench player. For what he can contribute, guess who's going to contribute that?
He wasn't just a bench player. He did start sometimes.
That's what I said. For the 20 games that he did,
There were games where he was a starter and he did really well.
I believe
So
so.
he can't be a starter because he wouldn't be talking that shit if he didn't know that he had it in him.
Now, if you had your team, would you want the backup point guard? Would you pay the backup point guard $1 million for a year or 25 mil for the year if they can almost produce the same? Not the same, not exact, but a backup. Would you rather pay $1 million or 25 million? As
They're
the owner,
producing the same numbers and everything.
not the same numbers. I'll be legit, and the reason I'm saying that is Deuce. Deuce is going to be someone who can go into the floor,
Oh,
play defense.
so you think Deuce is going to be dropping 30, 40 a night?
No, I don't think he's going to produce that. I don't think he's going to produce his offensive numbers. I think he's going to be a better defender, a better facilitator.
Ain't nobody arguing with you there, brother.
Not better. I think I'll say a doable.
Ain't
A
nobody
good,
arguing with you there, brother.
good backup, and that's just what I'm saying. It's not that we don't want IQ. Of course, we want them. We hit gold on our picks. The bad thing for us is that we hit gold on every pick in the same year that we got to pay these guys. We hit gold with Grimes. We hit gold with IQ. We hit gold with Obi, and we got a solid silver with Deuce right now. He's young, but now they're all contracted at the same time for Obi and IQ. So you can't pay everybody. That's what it comes down to. You just can't pay them. As much as we love them, we'd love to give everyone you get 100 million. You get 100 million. You get.
What was IQ's average for points last year?
I think even with the starts about 18. It was about 14 when he started. Was about 18, but it was about 14 points per game, which is still great for a bench guard. Huge. That's huge.
No. Yeah, no. I'm not arguing that. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to take your point into consideration because you just said, all right, well, Deuce could do it for $1 million. Well, I don't think Deuce got 14 a night.
Maybe, but if you get now, has Deuce had steady?
Not
Listen,
like 9 a night. Deuce had maybe average 9 when he played.
okay, how many minutes a game did Deuce get?
Maybe
I'm gonna look
15.
it up right now for you, brother.
15? You said
Maybe.
if Deuce got 5 minutes a game, that was a lot of minutes for Deuce. If he got 5 minutes a game, he's never maybe one game he had. Those are like 3 games.
More. He maybe 11, 12
He
minutes.
didn't average that. He had a couple of games, maybe 3 or 4, where he played almost 20 minutes. 3 or 4. After that was 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 30 seconds, a minute here. Never consistent minutes. IQ's been getting burned from the time he came in. From the time he came in, they gave him the free reign, chuck up whatever you want and ball out. Deuce hasn't had that. If Deuce has 15 to 20 minute average whether it's good minutes or not. By the time December comes around, you're going to see a consistent Deuce. And Deuce, G League Deuce, obviously that's a big change. Obviously, it's more talent at the starting level of the NBA. But he was given almost triple doubles a night, plus 2 steals and a block a game. I think his game would transition better and help us at a lower cost. Which, if you're going to be paying these Levines or anybody, Donovan, anybody that we're trying to get, at some place you have to cut costs. And it's going to have to be accurate.
Can I interject real quick?
Go for it.
Can I interject real quick?
Go for it.
For his career, he's averaging 10.9 minutes. Field goals, 33%. Three-pointers, 28%.
Mm-hmm.
Free throws, 66%.
Mm-hmm.
All that to say that you're gonna get your production that you get from IQ from this kid when he averages 3 points a game. He averages, which is really good, 0.3 turnovers, which is really good. I can appreciate that. He averages 1.1 assists and not even 1 rebound. So
Again,
you're comparing IQ to that?
how many minutes does IQ get a game?
Does it matter?
Of course it matters.
All right. So let's say IQ gets 20 minutes a game, right? So you're gonna double the stats. You want to double everything, and it's still 6 points.
The
not
game,
even 2 assists, and not even 1 block, not even 1 rebound. You get what I'm trying to say?
I hear you. But the games that Deuce played 20 minutes, that he played 20 minutes, we went undefeated. We never lost on those games. And then his positives was over the stat line. What I'm saying is
it's a 5-man game, bro. You're talking about 1 player.
I got you. That's what I'm saying. If I'm replacing the role behind Jalen Brunson, if I take out IQ out the equation, we trade him, whatever he gets his 100 million, he goes. If you give this kid 15 to 20 minutes a game, or the minutes that IQ got, I guarantee you he's going to be a net positive. He's not going to give you a 40-point game. He's not going to give you a 30-point game. He's going to give you a solid 15. He's going to give you a solid 8 assists. He's going to give you 2 steals and 2 blocks. Is that good for a bench player? That's what we need to back up Jalen Brunson. As he gets more minutes and more comfortable, he'll be better. The first year IQ, can you remember IQ's first year? Not that great. You know what I mean? He had spurts in games. He was inconsistent. He turned over and did different things, and he got better through the years go. People need minutes to get used to what it is. We only threw him out there to guard the best players of whoever's playing there. Never gave him a shot because Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Randall were shooting the shot, or Evan, whoever was out there, so he didn't get touches. So I think he's sufficient for what we would need, and I think he would fit the role, is what I'm saying.
So he doesn't command the respect of his teammates like IQ does. And then all of a sudden you're going to throw him in the line of fire, and all of a sudden he's just going to do what IQ does at a lower rate.
I didn't say.
How does that make sense?
Because it's money. Because you're not going to pay IQ $100 million. He's your next backup point guard, and you have to throw him out there. He's positive when he plays out there. You give him minutes. So he's going to produce if you put him out there. The Deuce will produce. Now, again, I didn't say he's replacing IQ's stats. I'm not saying that. He's not going to be the offensive guard, but he'll be a better point guard. He's a better facilitator as far as getting people involved. IQ, when you look at it, he pounds the air out of the ball. And it's not that he commands the guard at that point. He was a rookie. You see what they do to NBA rookies? They got them carrying backpacks with the shape like Dora the Explorer. They got them getting people coffee. Those like his rookie. Like, they be sunning them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he's going to come in like, yo, Randall, when I get to the pinch post, what I want you to do is you're going to come around, you're going to hook, pass me the ball. Bro, it's not happening as a rookie. I don't care who you are. I don't care. John Morant didn't get that. He was probably the only one who probably got all that burn time. All that to say is if he gets burn time, he'll be productive. That's all I'm saying. He'll be productive and a good defender. And then what
I'm saying is if it gets to that point, then you might be eating your words. That's all I'm saying.
From what the numbers say, when Deuce gets 20 minutes plus, we were undefeated, and his net positive was out the roof.
I don't have a way to check that. I mean, I'm sure you're not wrong because I like Deuce. I like his defense. It's just when it comes to offense, he's nowhere near quick, bro. Like it's not even
When
it's night and day.
when he was in the G, and again, I know G League. I'm not comparing. I know the talent's different, but when he got 20 to 30 minutes in the G League, he had triple doubles every night. Triple doubles. He was scoring
My
30.
my guy. I'm sure if you put IQ in the G League, he's gonna look like the
I
number
got
one pick.
The point I'm saying that is when he got steady minutes, he was productive. He was able to run the game how he wants, and he was productive. He scored north of 20 points per game, north of 10 rebounds per game, north of 10 assists a game, and steals and defense. If you give him minutes, he's going to give you those. You
And
got,
have
I mean, you got him playing average 10. So one game he plays 20, the next game he got 30 seconds at a dumpster fire at the end. Or you need minutes, bro. The only way you're gonna get good is by playing time. That's my whole point of that. And I'm
I
not saying
agree with that 100%. I just don't see it at all. Like it's not a
I
very
don't. He's not gonna give you IQ. He's not dropping. He could, but he's not gonna be there this year. It's gonna take time. Maybe he'll get into a rhythm towards the end of the year. I'm telling you, a solid 15. He can give you 12 to 15 points. He can get close to
okay.
giving you that. If he can give you that on an average, maybe 5 assists, 2 steals, or he had a game. We had what 6 steals in one game or 5 steals.
I'm not taking nothing away from his defense, brother. I swear to you, I love him as a defender.
In order to play, in order to produce, you need minutes. He needs consistency out there. He needs consistent minutes.
I just don't see the offensive production coming at any point. I mean, at least not right now. At least not right now. I don't see it. I
You
don't
just
see it.
need minutes, but in order, you got to unclog the drain. There's a lot of deuces in the toilet clogging. You saw what I did there, deuces in the toilet. Anyway, meaning we got to get rid of some guards. We got to get rid of them. You don't pay IQ. IQ's gonna be here for a while though. Any final thoughts on IQ? Do we keep him? All right, now that trade deadline is open right now, the free agency.
Bro, it's not even a question.
Is he
Keep the
staying or do we get
man
rid
and
of him?
pay him. Keep the man and pay him. I
Does
don't even know if this
does
is a discussion.
does IQ? Do we get rid of him by trade deadline or does he stay the rest of the year?
No, he stays. Keep the man and pay him.
pays, pay him.
I agree. He stays. No pay though. No pay. There's no reason to
Pay
pay
the
him.
man.
Why would you pay him now? I don't understand
Bro,
that.
we are. Aren't you? Didn't
You're
you?
talking about a guy who was a 6 year, a six man, candidate, dog.
But you don't have to pay him now. Is what I'm telling you. I'm not saying don't pay. Let's say they offer. You don't have to pay him. You can write him the whole year.
How's that gonna make you feel? Like you doing everything you can for this franchise, and you're professional in and out, and then your franchise is like, nah, you know what? We're not gonna take care of you. We're just gonna use you again, and then we're gonna pay you. How's that gonna make you feel if we're trying to make a culture change? Isn't that part of a culture change? To take care of you, take care of you?
I'm just
Scratch
saying.
my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yes, but you don't have to pay him right now. You can say, you know what? We want to offer you 4 years, $80 million. You like that? He says, yeah, I like that. Okay, let's handshake on it. That's what we're going to give you at the end of the year. But you don't have to give it to him right now. You can agree on a deal. That's what's happening right now. I'm more than sure. You're like, I want 100. Nah, that's a little too high. What about 80? What about 90? What about 85? All right, 85. You know what I mean? Like, they're negotiating right now. You can still do a handshake on it, but say, like, yo, we're not going to give it to you right now because we're trying to get other talent so we can get to whatever. At the end of this year, right before the trade deadline, when we free up whatever we free up, I'm going to give you this money by the time we re up. You like that number? We agree? Boom. That's it. They can agree on it. They can have everything in place, but they don't have to pay him right this second. You can still have an offer for him. You can, which I'm more than sure they're agreeing with now. But you want 100 mil? That's a little rich for our blood. What about 80? I think 80 to 85 is respectable. Can you do that for 4 years? And he just says yes or no. And then now you're like, yo, Kings, what you got for me? You want this? You want this guy? 100 million. He wants 100 million. I need 2 first rounders. Then you make the move at that point. But I'm more than sure they've already spoken about it, or they're talking about it right now. They definitely had to talk about it before free agents to see what they're gonna do. I think IQ stays. I think we give him a good offer, 80 mil. I think 80 mil is good. 80 mil. And then if not, we trade him by the deadline if he disagrees with that. So, but I think
If he's asking for 100, that's a slap in the face.
Bro, I could go to my job and be like, yo, I want 300,000 with $10,000 bonuses each quarter. They're gonna
Okay.
say, okay, you're now homeless because yeah,
Okay. No,
I'm not
no,
giving.
no,
You
no.
know what I'm
But
saying?
like you're one of what 300, 400 employees,
Yep,
and IQ is one of 15.
yep. And what is he giving me? You're giving me. You gave me
He's
a couple
giving
of.
he's
I,
giving you
I,
everything.
well, not everything. You gave me a couple of great games, but you sucked in the playoffs. Can you do better in the playoffs now?
Yeah, che, mi hermano.
I'm saying you got to rebuttal as a franchise.
Okay. Again. If you're talking about a culture change and we're a different organization and blah blah blah, this is part of it. We
If
need
you
to
give,
take care of the players.
you get, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna ride with what you guys are saying. You pay him $100 million. Okay, that's 25 mil, right? You're paying 25 to Randall. You're paying 25 to Brunson, and you're paying 25 to RJ. That's $100 million. That means you got 35 mil left in cap. Who are you getting rid of? Because you got to get rid of at least two players,
Well,
minimum.
Evan can go. Evan can go for a bag of
This
chips.
is
That
after
brings up
Evan.
15, right?
That's after Evan because you had to free up Evan to give him that 25. The 19 from Evan rolls into him plus some. So Evan's going.
Okay.
You still need two other players you're gonna have to get rid of.
Okay. Get rid of Deuce.
He's $1 million. You're gonna get rid of $1 million.
Get rid of whoever. Get rid of whoever.
That's what I'm telling you.
He is a cornerstone to your team. Like my
You
man very nicely said, he should have been sixth man of the year, but they did him dirty.
pay him 100 mil. You're no different.
You don't just get rid of a player like that. You take care of them. You want them in your franchise long term.
You can't give 100 mil to everybody though, my guy. Especially
My
not a
God.
French player. You can't get. I mean, look, if you give it to
See,
him, so do you think Phoenix is gonna go anywhere with their four players that they have? Because they have zero.
absolutely.
They,
Absolutely.
they gotta get whoever old them. They gotta get Dwight from China or Taiwan,
I
wherever.
don't care who they get. I don't care who they put in
So
the bench to ride.
they could be
As long as Phoenix stays healthy, they are going to be top four in the West, brother. Don't sleep on Phoenix, man. Whenever they need a bucket, they're gonna have one of the all-time greatest in Kevin Durant. They're gonna have a baby Kobe in Booker.
six at best.
What?
They can't play D, bro.
It doesn't matter.
No defense, no bench.
If I'm giving up 100 points on defense, but I'm scoring 120, 130, what does it matter?
The other people scoring 140. Remember we did that? Who did we play? We played the Kings. Didn't we play the Kings? We had 135.
Did we ever in our franchise history have an all-time great like a Durant? Oh, crickets?
No, I mean, I agree with you. We haven't.
Oh,
But
did we ever in our history have an almost all-time great like a Devin Booker?
no.
And now they're talking about getting possibly a Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, but you got to remember they're getting a first-year coach over there. Who's going to be their coach? Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel is amazing, and he's not a first-year coach. He coached Indiana and the Lakers.
No, he's not a first-year coach.
How did that go for both those teams with Vogel coaching?
He took them to the final. He took them to the Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals. He took the Lakers all the way over there.
Look at the players you had. You had the greatest players possibly of the top 20
kidding me
players.
right now? You had LeBron James and AD, and then who you had? Austin Reeves?
You had them in their prime, my guy. Anyway.
Oh my God, bro, your arguments are immaculate right now, bro.
I mean, you need defense, bro. You need defense.
I'm not saying you don't. You're maybe what I'm saying is coming off wrong. All I'm saying is
I'm not debating you. I hear you. I believe in paying your players. I believe in keeping the people you drafted and keeping them. I'm for that. If I could keep everybody. That's why I say you don't have to pay OB and IQ. I'm saying that because I want to keep them at least one more year. I believe they would help us, but you can't give everybody $100 million. And the point of I was saying Phoenix is because if you pay them, Phoenix has a skeleton crew. Now their season is reliant on them being healthy at the end of the year. Kevin Durant, which you're right, one of the most prolific scorers of all time, messed his ankle up on a layup, doing layup drills.
Yeah.
It was, you know what I'm saying? I'm not quite. Look, he's all time. Yeah, he messed himself up on a layup drill. Anything can happen in a long-term season. He didn't play for Brooklyn for a long time. You know what I'm saying? All the years they were there for 3 years, and he was injury prone.
I agree.
Whatever happened. So
Injuries suck. It's part of the game. I hear you, but you got to take a chance. You got to take it, especially when you got a small window in Booker. Booker has like 2 years left in his contract, so you got to swing for the fences, brother. You got a prime player like that, you got to take a shot.
Is IQ top 50 player right now in today's NBA? Not all time. I mean, like a top 50 player.
Right now, no, I don't think so.
Right now,
I mean, I would have to look at the list, but I'm pretty sure he's close somewhere there.
Do you think? So, do you think he's better than? I mean, the money you're throwing at the kid is what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of paper. Could he make it? Does he deserve it? I'm pretty sure there's teams out there that would do it. I just don't think we can afford to do it.
I'm pretty sure he's top 50. I'm sure he's somewhere in there. I mean, if you look, I mean, I would have to see the list, like I said, but off the top of my head, I can think of top 10s, which are like 200 million category. Top 20s are probably like in the 100, 150 range. And then from 30 to 40, you're really getting, right around 180, 70 mil range. Is my breakdown based off of like just, off the top of the dome. I'm not really looking at anything per se. You know what I mean?
Would you say who if you had forget the position, if who would you prefer, Kyle Kuzma, or would you prefer IQ? Just as a player, if you had to choose one.
IQ, brother.
And you Machete?
I stick with my IQ.
One reason I'm saying that because he just signed up 4 years. So he got 4 years, $100 million deal to return back to Washington. So he got $102 million.
No, IQ, brother. I mean, I like Kuzma. Don't get me wrong. I think he would have been a really good fit. Had the whole when we were talking about the whole KP situation, I was actually rooting for Kuzma. I wanted Kuzma.
And I only brought
him a lot
money because he just got $100 million. So I'm comparing game. Like, do you think they're equal?
Yeah, no, but Kuz don't got the defense, and I would have to look at his stats, but I don't think he has the efficiency that IQ has.
And the only reason I'm talking about it is because he got 100 mil. IQ wants 100 mil.
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, I would have to read the numbers, but like I said, I think IQ has a better efficiency, and IQ to me has better defense than he does. So if he's getting 100, then IQ should be getting 100. If that's how you want to play it, if that's logically the way you're thinking.
I'm just asking. Yeah, I mean, and again, he could do it, but if we pay him, we're gonna be broke, and we can't add other players. That's my point to it. Not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I just don't think we can afford to give him 100 mil. 80 would be a stretch. And that'll be the max. That's a respectable offer. Like, yo, we love you. We want to keep you here. We can afford 80. You down with 80? Come off our bench. If he says, nah, I want 100 mil, I see myself as a starter. Yo, I love to see. We love you, but we got to get rid of you. We can't afford it.
Well, let me ask you a question. At that point, if you can't come to an agreement with a number, and he's like, yo, I want to go. Let me go where I can start and get my money. At that point, can we do a sign and trade?
You can, depending on the deal. You keep him for the rest of the year. You let him get his numbers up because he's going to have to show improve. It's like a contract year. Which, again, we keep him anyway at whatever his salary that we have him for now. We don't have to do anything. You let him play all this year and then you start feeling trades from like December to February, that February trade deadline. Yo, my guy wants to get out of here. What do you guys want? Then you start trading offers and you find something, you get rid of him before the trade deadline in February. You let him build up his
But what
stats.
would a sign and trade? What would a sign and trade look like?
That's only if, let's say, like Clippers, right? Like the only reason I was saying that because possible like Clippers, Paul George. We're talking about Paul George. Paul George's contract's like 50 mil, whatever he wants to. Let's say he wants to come
Whoa, I
here.
thought it was like 30 something 40.
I think I'm not 100% Miguel. Can you look at that? See what Paul George is getting for these next 2 years? I thought it was 50. I could be wrong, but
I thought
my
it
point
was like
saying
40.
whatever he gets, let's say it's 25. So then you could do a let's say Clippers are like, yo, we really want IQ. Like, all right, we'll do a sign and trade. We'll sign him for X amount of money. You trade, now that 25 we're giving him annually, we do with Paul George and add some filler, like maybe Evan Fournier, and now you just do IQ and Evan to make that money work and trade. You know what I mean? Something like
And
that.
then we would give up IQ Fournier for PG.
If you do a sign and trade at that point, let's say he wants 100 million, maybe Clippers are like, all right, we're comfortable with 100 million. We'll do the sign and trade. Then we say, all right, we're gonna give IQ $100 million. And then we're gonna trade as a sign and trade. So we're giving him 100, but he's going to the
So
Clippers. We're gonna
okay,
use that
I
100
see what you're
million,
saying.
use that 25 mil for that 1 year to equal or get close to PG's salary.
So, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Instead of
yeah, yeah.
giving him IQ now for $2 million that he's
Got
getting,
you.
and the money doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
Okay.
something like that could still happen later up to February if there's a team, and we'll know by then which more teams will be desperate. The Clippers, maybe they get broken again, or another team that really wants them and they're going to blow their team up and say, forget it, we're going to get IQ. Then at that point, you make that move for that.
Got you. Okay. So Paul George for the 23-24 season is going to be making 45.
So there you go. If we got 25 for him, then you got to find another 15 mil close.
What's the yeah? Because we don't have to hit 45 exactly. It could be like 40, right?
But if let's say we gave him the 100 mil, 25 for IQ, and let's say Fournier is 20, that's 45, close to the 50. Boom.
Also, that works.
That works.
I mean, we got to get rid of Fournier anyways, right? He's just clogging up the bench.
We'll have him for another year if we can find a way to fill it in. So we either keep him or unless you find something on the market. If they're not giving anything worth the money for us, then maybe we keep him as another player till trade deadline. So we'll see. Because at that time, then the contract will fall off. It'll probably be more valuable to another team where it's really.
So for me personally, I would do that because you got PG for this year and then next year. And then he falls off the books. His 48 mil falls off the books.
Clippers just said that they're not trying to include any. I think with the Harden point anyway, that they're not trying to include Paul George.
No. Yeah, I'm saying, but we're talking about a hypothetical where we can't keep IQ and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing because then at that point we would go to Clippers and be like, listen, I can give you IQ for blah, blah, blah. And maybe they're enticed to, work a trade with us then.
Yep. Something like that, or even I'm just throwing this name out. Not saying I agree, but maybe Cleveland's like, you know what, we want to get rid of Donovan. We'll take IQ, sign or sign and trade.
But I'm not inclined to do that because again, Mitchell is going to be available.
I'm just giving a number. I'm just giving a comparison. Not saying that we would do it. I'm just saying same thing like a Donovan or to match money, and they would do it.
I hear you.
We would do it. It's just
okay. All right.
I mean, something like that. Maybe somewhere in the West Coast or we trade him, but that's what that would look like. If he's relentless on getting that 100 mil, we're more than likely still gonna have to keep him. Now we have to wait the trade deadline time frame to see who would want him, who would pay that money, and see we'll get feelers on what team wants him. Then we can do a trade at that point.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I agree.
We trade him as we do as the money he is now, and that other team would have to pay him if we get draft compensation or something. We could say, you know what, without giving him that 100 mil. He's playing out of his mind. I want 2 first rounders for him. Now they give us 2 first rounders. We give him for that, whatever he's making now, and then they pay him. So he could be playing good enough to where we can ask for a high first round. You know what I mean? So he's playing that good now that we could be like, yo, I want a top 15 pick. You know what I mean? Maybe Orlando or, maybe OKC is like, yo, he's balling. We could use him with our players. We'll give you 3 first rounders. We got 27 of them anyway. I'm saying maybe OKC wants it that bad and he can play with whatever. So there's a lot of different options that you can get for him. So if he balls out this year, that's what I said. Even if we keep him, he's only going to increase his value for us. So that was a long rant we went on IQ because we love him.
That's my guy. Yeah.
So,
And shout out to Obi too. I'm gonna say it again.
no,
It sucks. We did him dirty. We picked him 8th. We should have done right by him and just gone full rebuild. But it is what it is.
I don't think we did it dirty. He literally basically fell to our lap. He should have gone sooner. Cleveland was all in love with him. He played in Cleveland. I mean, Ohio. He played there. Cleveland was all about Obi. He was supposed to go to Cleveland. Then Cleveland pivoted, which they're mad about it now. Then they got a Coro. We were looking at a Coro because we didn't think Obi would fall that far. Nobody thought Obi was going to drop all the way down to 8th. They thought he was going to be down by the 5th pick. You know, and then he kept dropping, and it's like at that point you got to get the best player available. You know what I mean? Plus he was a homegrown talent and all that, and we didn't know what thing, and we didn't know what was going to happen with Cleveland. So it just worked out that everybody balled out. It's a good position we're in right now. We're mad and upset, but we're in a good position where Randall's the best Randall statistically, not emotionally. Statistically, the best Randall we could have ever hoped for. IQ home run with the pick, right? We got him in the late first, 20-something pick. He was supposed to be, he could have been higher. Home run with that. He's balling out of his mind. We're arguing about giving him $100 million for a 20-something pick, who should be getting a DiVincenzo money. You feel me? In facts, right? I mean, he should be getting maybe 12 based off the pick, right? He should be
12 a year.
So he balled out of his mind. He's up to this $100 million combo. We should be giving him the mid-level exception for the most part. Balled out of his mind. Grimes, we ain't even including him in trade because he could be a 90, 50, whatever. He's great defender.
50, 40, 90.
50, 40, 90. He could be that at that level. He's a great point guard, plays a 2-guard, phenomenal defender. You can't find that. That's why they don't get rid of him because it's almost impossible to find someone at 3 who can drive and is elite at defending. It's very rare to find that, which is why we're holding on to Deuce because might take a little more time, but he could turn into a good 3-point shooter, elite defender now, elite defender. But so if we can keep those, we build a defensive team and onward. Anyway. Long story short, that we hit home runs on everything. So now we have the tough choice of now we got to make moves and get rid of people. Because most people don't hit on all their picks. We couldn't get any picks anyway. How many? Like I'm in Orlando. We got Orlando. They got 17 first rounders. Like they've had first round top 10 picks for the last 7 years at least.
Fuck them picks. Get rid of them picks.
Yeah. So they've got high picks forever. We haven't got. We were never that lucky. So we had to be smart on making our picks, making the right selections, and we got a great front office, great draft people, great scouts that they did a phenomenal job on picks. You know what I mean? So,
but guys, I gotta run, man. My battery's running low.
Appreciate you coming by. Thank you for.
All right, brother. Have a good day.
Knicks Nation.
Yes, sir.
We'll see what happens.
All right, we're gonna be looking on now. So, do you think we pick up anybody now, Alex, in the free agency market?
I don't think so. There's a lot of smoke with like I said, with the DiVincenzo kid. I don't want him. I really don't want him. I hope not. Other than that, I don't really know who's a free agent, to be honest with you. There's a what?
Yeah, there's a few on there, but I think the DiVincenzo thing is legit. I think we will end up getting him. That's going to solidify our bench. That frees up money, and I think that frees up money that we have some money in our pocket. We don't know who it is. That OG Anunoby move was a little suspect that he fired, Clutch Sports, and now he's with CAA. That's something to look at. I
didn't even know that.
Yeah. So he had Clutch Sports. He had Paul. He had Paul on his as his agent, and he fired him. Rich Paul. He had Rich Paul, and he fired him, and then he went to CAA. So it's a good possibility that maybe he wants to come here, or that we could probably get him. A lot of teams are frustrated that your jury from Toronto, he's asking ridiculous prices for his players. So,
but that's not new. That's how he does business.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a baby Danny Ainge.
Yep, I can agree with that.
It is what it is. I don't even know. So I'm actually looking at a picture of Russell Westbrook right now. I'm wondering like how much is he gonna command in the free agent market? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the free agents are, man. To be
Let me
real
go.
with you, I haven't even paid attention because I feel like the Knicks are in a position where, like, if we make a move or two, I believe that we would be in the Eastern Conference Finals, possibly even in the championship. So, I believe that we match up well with everybody in the East when it comes to the top like Boston to the low like Chicago. I believe we're like matchup wise. I believe we are almost like right there. I just think we need like a piece or two here and there. And if we can get an all-star, like if that piece could be an all-star, that then I think that will even catapult us even further. So
It's gonna get crazy. Like Bruce Bowen, we were talking about Bruce Bowen. He
yeah.
just signed to Indiana for 2 years, 45 mil. So he ain't go back to Denver.
There you go. See? There you
It's starting
go.
to shake up here, so it's looking crazy here. Javon Carter from the Milwaukee Bucks, he signed a 3-year deal with the Chicago Bulls. Wow! So he was with the point guard. So he went to the Bulls, and they also signed the Bulls sent Kobe White, so they got their guard play there. Karis LeVert re-signed with the Cavaliers on a 2-year deal. So smoke's starting to happen now. I think we should
Yeah.
start seeing probably something soon. Grant's still out there, so that's going to be interesting. So
Jeremy
anybody,
Grant.
yeah, Jeremy Grant. Anybody in the chat say anything?
Let me go real quick.
Any
The
questions?
new Knicks says salute to the chat. Show your love and support. Smack the like button. And he says that he apologizes. He was in the water and totally forgot.
Saving boats. Any other chats?
That's pretty much it.
All
Um that's the last couple messages that I see there.
right, so we'll start closing it up. But do we stand pat or do we go for a big swing? Do you think we get somebody at a big swing, or do you think as your favorite word, you were saying the incremental moves?
I'm hoping we make that incremental move, man. And like I said, you guys really talked me into Levine. I think Levine would be a good fit. Like I was looking into it more with the salary, and you had mentioned the position and blah blah blah. I believe he would be a really good fit. And I believe we wouldn't have to give up much to get him. At the end of the day, we have like I said, like 10 picks. We have to consolidate at some point. We can't draft them all, and we can't keep everybody that we have. So at some point, we got to start getting rid of some people. Bring in. We have to take a swing. We have to eventually get a top tier talent, and then hopefully it works out. I would respect the front office more if they took a chance on something instead of just standing patient, waiting and waiting and waiting, and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like that's just a waste of time.
And I
So
think I think what you're saying resides with a lot of Knicks nations, so at least quite a bit of them. I'm saying the only question for that, and not you're not wrong about it, you know what I mean. But I think it's how much do you give up for that swing, you know what I mean? And I think that's the where it's looking at again. People always trying to fleece us, like how much, like all right, we're willing, like even with the Donovan trade, we were willing to make the move, but now they were asking for Grimes, RJ, I think IQ, and then you talk like 5 first. Like, come on, bro, come on. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's not that they're not trying to take the swing, but they want you instead of throwing your baseball, they're throwing your polish to swing at. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I
you
think they're
gotta
making. Right.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying I think they're making the calls. I think they're trying to do diligence. I think they're trying to make respectable offers. I think just people are still trying to jerk them. And I think what they're doing now, I think this is a pivot move from what we're seeing now. I think they tried early to make their combos, go for the Zags, talk about Zion, see what they could do. I think they legit made their best offer. And I think these other teams balked at it and were like, you know what? Nah, we're going to try to hold off and try to call their bluff. And I think what you're looking at now is our pivot move. You know what? Hey, Josh, the handshake deal that I was telling you, look, we're going to give you this amount of money at the end of this year. Let's handshake on it. We're going to give you the money you're talking about. And by him doing that, that also helps us to pay at a different time frame than you would pay Randall and RJ. And, you know what I mean? So it gives us a different year where we can pay him where you're not paying everybody at the same time. And that gives
Mm.
us the option to get DiVincenzo, another player with chemistry that keeps the chemistry going. That'll help what we needed for the playoffs. I think we're almost standing pat and just getting players that'll help us win to that next level. DiVincenzo, I think, would help us. Good 3-point shooter, great defender, not that tall, but effort. Just like Jalen Brunson, I don't think people are judging size a lot there as far as height. But they said the same thing about Jalen Brunson, and now they're like, yo, he's one of the top guards in the league. Smallest underrated player, but he's shooting over everybody. Shot over Embiid. You can't stop him. You know what I mean? So I think DiVincenzo falls in that line. Obviously not at that level, but I think he's so good at what he does that the size doesn't matter. 6'4" still pretty tall. It's not a giant, but 6'4" still good that he can still do what he needs, and what he does will help our team. I think we're gonna make stand pat for the most part. Keep IQ as we said, at least throughout the year till we find something. I think we keep Obi. I don't think we move Obi free agency. I think we keep him. I think he's gonna help us in the beginning of the year, and sometime throughout the year we trade him. And I don't know. I think there's one more play. I don't know who it is. They freed up that money for something. So I think there's one player out there, someone that we probably not thinking is gonna be like a Josh Hart that came out of nowhere, nobody's thinking about, but that he's gonna help us. You know what I mean? That he'll definitely contribute. Tobias Harris would be nice. He's not the sexy name, but he's also one that fits. He's tall, he's 6'9". He would be nice, a lot of money, but again, it's on like a 2-year rental. So I don't know, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
All the free agents going now. We appreciate you, everybody, for watching. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, not really. Just again, appreciate you for having me again and allowing me to share my thoughts with you guys and chat. Yeah, hopefully we can keep doing this and I could be more of a mainstay in the channel.
You know what it is. Tú eres dominicano, loco. Tú eres la gente de nosotros. ¿Qué hay?
Tú sabes que lo que.
No, we talking Spanish stuff. It's que lo que mi gente. Yeah, you know what I mean? Love everybody. Island people, Maoris, Jamaicans, Haitianos, everybody. We definitely Caribbean, but we love everybody. Wherever you're at, international, wherever you're at, it's all love here. And sorry I didn't have a live chat where I can go back and forth with you guys, and it's there. I couldn't see it, but whatever. We'll get it better next time. We appreciate you guys. We're going to go live Sunday, 5 p.m. Hopefully we got some more things to talk about. Hopefully we got some new acquisitions that we'll talk about 5 p.m. We'll see if Alex can join us. Hopefully if he's willing, more than likely. Got family members, y'all join. Sunday, 5 p.m. Let us know your thoughts. Put your comments on here. Let us know who you think we go for. Because it's getting live right now. It's getting hot. Fire. So we're going to tune out to tune in to see who your salute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Organic Fanatics, we appreciate y'all. Love, comment, like, subscribe. Put them thumbs up. I need to see more thumbs up on there. You know what I'm saying? Like you hitchhiking. We need to see thumbs like you hitchhiking. But don't hitchhike. That is not a
appreciate you, Keith Watkins. Appreciate you.
Keith, salute. We appreciate you guys all in the chat. Thank you. Thank you all, everybody out there. We got love for y'all. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for tuning in. It ain't us if it ain't about you. So we appreciate y'all. Till the next time.